I think it worked.
Are we live?
Well, if you're not live, you're dead. I should probably have opened the window with the chat box separate. I didn't. I failed miserably at life. But tonight's live chat is brought to you by Criterion Barrels.
Criterion.
Criterion.
They're pretty good barrels. I've heard of them.
Some stuff to try out, test.
Yeah, they have a bit of a name for themselves.
I've heard. I've heard some of the more major barrel manufacturers that people are quite familiar with who said, "Oh, we don't compete with Criterion. They're in a whole different category. We compete with these other brands." And so when your competition says, "Yeah, you're too good to compete with," you're probably pretty good. What we got going on? Colt Manny is here. Joe Pastilli, Uncle Gun, Steven, Bob McCracken. That's kind of like his cousin Phil McCracken.
Yeah, that dude was in the Navy.
Iroquois Foreskin, Javier, hello. Stephen is stoked for the class announcement that was made on Patreon earlier today.
Oh, you know, I'm lucky. I don't even have to be on your Patreon to find out about future classes.
No,
but I have a bit of an inside track on a lot of things.
Just a smidgen. And as it turns out, it was a tiered release system. The first tier, I guess, the patrons found out, and then it was posted on Bulletin. And the public announcement is just waiting to happen here on the live chat.
Here, live?
Live. Adam Hall, hello, sir. It was great to see you last weekend.
I agree. He has exceptional choice. He has an exceptional taste in attire and shirts. We were wearing the same one at the muster.
Oh, I recall that he was wearing a shirt because I think if he were topless, I'd have noticed.
No, it was great to see him. It was great to see everybody.
Like Scott Wexler.
Oh, he didn't come.
No.
I guess he's gonna have to give back that rail he won. I sent it to him in good faith. He's like, "Yeah, I'm going to try and make it to the Busters." So he won that, or was it the sights? It was combat sights.
Yeah, something he won.
Yeah, from Midwest Industries.
And then Turtle won the other one.
And Turtle won the other one. So I sent him the sights. He said, "I'm going to try." Okay, cool. Well, I'm just going to send it to you just in case I forget to give it to you at the muster, and he never shows up.
Because he got his sights. What else did he need?
Right? Yeah, he's like, "Oh, I guess I don't need to come anymore." I guess he doesn't understand the honor bound system.
No, he needs to work on that. It's okay. He's from the Midwest. You know how weird they are.
They are weird.
I don't even actually know if that's considered the Midwest. So he's like in the upper Ohio, lower Michigan area there somewhere. I don't want to necessarily call out where he lives in case there's people about to swat him.
Yeah. Scott had to work out of town. Pennsylvania is out of your town.
It is indeed. Indeed.
I agree with Joseph Pastilli. Scott is lame. Everything that happened, Scotty doesn't know this weekend at the muster.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Where did I see something about a rail? Oh, what rail did I win?
Yeah, because I misspoke. He won sights, not a rail.
Yeah. Because the rails were given away at the muster, and you had to be present to win.
Yeah, a bunch of them. A bunch of Midwest stuff. Those guys are pretty all right.
They were very generous.
Yes.
Like they are. I talked to Troy Storch today, the owner of Midwest Industries.
Did you know?
Yes, we talked about stuff.
And things.
And stuff and things. All right, let's see if I can't prove Javier to be a speaker of mistruths. Javier, it does not say 2024 in that class announcement. I just went and changed it. Haha. Hey, Scott went to Columbus. Isn't that where Zach Bush was this weekend?
Oh, it's where he stayed this weekend.
Yeah.
Out near Columbus, I think. He only made it so far.
He tried to come to the muster.
Oh,
TJ,
this
hello,
year
sir. Good to see TJ is in the room.
and living,
Alive. Yep.
alive, and thriving.
HIPAA prevents me from talking more about TJ.
Yes.
Uh-huh. It's okay, Scott. We'll let you slide this time. Till the next time. Oh, I can see more stuff on that screen too. Perfect. Still getting organized here. Let's see. We'll talk about the muster. Like that was kind of the post-show recap.
The post-show recap.
Post-muster recap, like how cool it was or not cool. This year, things were ran smoother than last year. I think the having sound was great. Stephen made the event better and totally on the down low without letting anyone know, may have single-handedly saved the entire event.
Oh, I know why. I don't know the name of the band that he played, but it did seem to perk your mood up in the morning.
Apparently, I was cranky because I was hangry. That's the story I've been told. And Stephen delivered the ability for me to hear an unreleased, I would call it an EP from a local band that I've been trying to find the songs for 20 years. And he brought them and gave me the ability to hear them.
You did dramatically improve in demeanor.
Oh, that's all it took was a 20-year quest fulfilled.
Yeah, you just need a little bit of inspiration each muster, you know?
Yeah,
The weight of it weighs on you, and then, you just need a little bit of a pick me up the day of.
That's it. Yeah. Well, sometimes things don't go as planned, and oftentimes it's out of my control, and that becomes frustrating.
Indeed.
Just saying. I don't know what Max is trying to say.
He might be making a joke, or he might be trying to compliment you. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Oh, the group hug. The group hug was awesome.
And I'm like, by the time the group hug happened, I was already in a good mood.
Right. Well, that's all Dave Bigger's fault.
Yes.
Yeah, he was very much trying to get me killed, or at least stabbed in some way. Him coming up to me with the idea of, Mike, I have you need to get everyone's attention, and you're gonna initiate a group hug on Gary, and we're gonna come in and I'm like, no, Dave, that's not happening. I'm not doing that unless you guys zip tie him first. There is no way I'm getting near him for a group hug.
Well, you did well. You stood away.
Yeah,
I commanded others to do the group hug.
I came into the group hug on the outside edge. I was like, yeah, I'll let everyone else absorb whatever those blades are that are coming out of him.
That clinch pick ain't long enough to make it all the way to me.
Not going to make it here.
Scott wants to know how many XP the side quest was worth. Dude, I leveled up. But yeah, so we had the group hug, and we lost some instructors.
Yeah.
I mean, one was literally lost in Ohio. The other one we kind of knew where he was at, about 2 hours away. But I think everything still ran pretty good. Let's see. What did we start with? Who went first? You talked about encryption, encrypting radio communications,
Yes, yes, I
uh,
did. And I
uh,
believe Lewis
and
was.
and Lewis was outside.
Mhm.
I have somebody gave a not negative review, like a 4 out of 5 star review on the muster, and said that they would have liked to have known uh, what the blocks of instruction were ahead of time so they could have a better chance to pick instead of like, hey, you got like 30 seconds, pick one and go. And I have to admit that not having a good description from all of the instructors does make that difficult.
Very. Yes.
So I'm going to call Lewis's block the Donut of Death,
Mhm.
and that was a pistol skill block of instruction. I got to poke my head in for a minute or two on that because I was still had 800 things trying to get sorted out. But actually, tonight's thumbnail is from Lewis's block of instruction.
Oh,
I went
nice.
out and got a picture and then jumped back in.
He's the
Uh,
only block that I didn't get to experience, at least for a little bit, for
uh,
obvious reasons.
it sounded good. I also don't have the equipment required to have fully got everything out of that block of instruction because it was red dots on pistols. And while I have a red dot sitting right there and pistol sitting right here, they're not together. And it wasn't the type of reticle that Lewis was focusing on. So
Mm.
didn't really, I couldn't jump in and participate. Plus, since Lewis and I are now besties, I figure I can probably get that information from him some other time.
It's amazing. The muster brings everyone together.
Yes. Lewis and I have known each other for a couple of years, but I haven't really spent a lot of time together. And this last week, we spent a lot of time together. And I was like, man, I really like that cat. He's a lot funnier than I thought he was just dumb and weird. And now I think he's funny and smart. So hopefully he's watching or somebody will mark me out to him.
I'm sure Max is probably texting him right now, like, "Oh my God, Gary's
Probably.
speaking so highly of you."
He called you dumb and weird. Tom Hollyby, hello, sir. Hey, man, I know you live like way out on the West Coast, ish, not the coast maybe, but out on the left side of the country. It'd be awesome if you could find your way over here to the right side of the country, maybe next year.
The correct side of the country, as they say.
Well, I don't know how correct it is, but
Politically correct, maybe.
it's certainly on the right side of the map. Lewis needs to do reg dot class here in PA. Yes, he does.
We'll
I
make
will.
it happen.
I'll chat with him. No, kept telling everyone I'll talk to you next week. It's Wednesday, and I haven't even cleaned out the gear from my car yet. My truck is still packed full of shit. So maybe it'd be next week before I reach you if you're listening, because I'll start getting some people communicated with that I said I would, but it's been hectic. So hectic that I left my house at 0500 this morning to get Andrew to the airport. And the last instructors that were staying here were Calvin and Jay, and they left sometime this afternoon. So muster week really was a long week for me. Like it was still going on this afternoon. But now that that's done, I went and took a nap. I got in a way better mood, and
You look positively refreshed.
I'm refreshed. I was just freshed before. Now I'm refreshed. Oh, Tom Hollyby says he's got some sort of secret for 2025. We'll have to chat somewhere, not on a live stream. Maybe I'll get some inside scoop on it.
I like Tom, the way Tom thinks. Some will find it cool and some will hate it. It's always a good sign.
Dude, when I come up with something new, I think the same thing. There are people that will hate it just because my name is attached to it. Be
It's true.
prepared.
Yeah.
Uh,
Oh, Aiden Donovan says he now has the best notebooks in the world.
he must have some
Thank you.
bulletin notebooks.
Yeah, they definitely. I sold a bunch of bulletin notebooks. Actually, gave away probably more than I sold, but yeah, they're pretty sweet. $900 notebooks on sale for $800 or $5. It's an $895 savings.
Yes.
You just have to fill it with the rest of the value. What is a good radio to learn on and take notes on? Well, this is like a pistol question. What's a good radio to learn on? The one you have, the one you're going to use, you know? Like
That's a good
that's
answer.
if you have one, like I'm not going to say go get a new one, but like, it's one of those things of RTFM, read the fucking manual and
And if
come
you
take a
don't have a
class.
radio, there are a couple options you could pick,
Yep.
but it turns out a Baofeng isn't one of them.
Well,
Nor
everyone has one.
none of the potato fangs, the Baofeng, Quanshang, Hu Fang, Hu something or other. There's an HU something. Fuck all those.
Yeah. What I will say is if somebody has a Baofeng that you don't have to pay for and they're willing to just hand to you because they basically, multiply like tribbles, just let them hand that to you and use that. And don't spend any money right away. And then when you realize that thing's like a it holds up in water about as well as tissue paper, then buy yourself a Yaesu VX6R. That's pretty dang good. It's probably the creme de la creme of radios. It's a good one to learn on and a good one to finish on.
To me, it's like the Glock 19. If you start there, you may end there.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
RJ has not put his gear away yet. I think I have some of your stuff here, RJ. I think I have a cot that's yours.
Mm.
It was delivered to my house. So let's see that after the radio and Lewis, we did
somebody
else.
Was that Andrew?
Yep. Andrew Meisker's Magic and Medicine. It was the Andrew and Andrew show.
Right.
And then Andrew was outside doing pistol cheat codes.
Pistol cheat codes.
Yes.
I don't know what it was, but I went out there and tried hitting up, down, left, right, hold down A and press start, and it didn't work.
Oh.
I still don't. I still remember the Sonic cheat code at the beginning of Sonic the Hedgehog.
What did it do for you? Did that take you to a secret level?
Allowed you to go to all the levels.
Oh,
like you could just skip everything, go right to the end. Oh wait, no, it's up, down, left, right, hold down A and press start. I think that's what it was.
I remember that there was one. That's as much as I remember. Because I'm not a cheater. I wanted to enjoy the game for all it was worth. Actually,
if you're not cheating, you're not trying.
Somebody out there will probably say, well, Gary hates everything, so being miserable would make him happy, so he would not cheat to make it fun. So yeah, we did. Then those were those two. And I caught a little bit of what Andrew was doing, and a little bit of what the other Andrew was doing.
Mm-hmm.
What do we do after that?
Lunch.
Yes. My wife went and got us fourth taco. And the tacos tasted like fourth tacos like they do.
Yep. They were excellent. Those guys are the best.
There was one left at the very end. So I think everybody got what they needed out of that.
Mm.
And I just went and returned all the serving stuff to fourth taco today. And as it turns out, they have a new special today, which is some sort of like, they take an enchilada and make it in a quesadilla, and there's poblano peppers and shit in it. It's amazing. I got fed lunch today with the brand new thing that just released. I don't know what the fuck it's called. They don't even have it on the board yet. So I was like the first guy to get one that wasn't like, the trial and error prototypes.
It's always your MO. The first, you get the exclusives.
Yep, a lot of unobtainable shit. Unfortunately, that makes me happy, and apparently I like to be miserable, so I don't know what I'm supposed to do with that. Man, I don't even know what he wrote. Eliminate gaming.
Gamingness. I think he's
Oh.
talking to.
Oh, about the red zone? Yeah, that?
Yes. No.
No.
No. Eliminating gamingness was something that Sonny was talking about during the.
Oh, okay. So yeah, after lunch, what happened after lunch? After lunch, Susquehanna Valley Firearms showed up and set up their suppressor demo. So that was
Yep.
kind of an open thing all afternoon.
Yeah, they
actually
were up
came
there
an hour after the muster and
They were
kept
just letting
demoing
people
stuff.
just shoot their ammo, go out
Yeah.
there, experience silencers. They're pretty cool cats over there.
Hey, we brought 10 silencers, 10 guns, and 5,000 rounds of ammo. Come up and shoot. Like, okay, I'll
Yeah,
come
you
up.
might as well. Yeah.
So that was kind of running the whole time.
Mhm.
And then
Do we have
was
Dave
that
go next? Dave on the inside, Calvin on the outside?
yes, that sounds right. No, Dave and Tim went at the same time.
Oh, Dave and Tim. Right. Tim was doing some shotgun stuff.
Calvin went at the same time as Jonathan Aldridge, I believe.
Right.
I think they were before Dave and Tim.
I missed most of Dave's thing. By the time I got back, it was done. He went
I
short.
said 45 minutes and he went like 38 minutes and said, I'm good. Which worked out awesome because Tim Morris went 700 years.
Just like
Zach Bush is in the house. He finally made it to something.
Oh, great. He's got internet connection now.
So yeah, and Tim talked about Sears and Roebuck shotguns for 2 hours, and really seemed to be pimping Rio buckshot. I may have missed the important parts out there. Dave talked about identifying
threats.
Identifying threats. And then the previous one, when Calvin was out there, what the hell did Calvin talk about?
Calvin was a injured shooter.
Nope. He changed his mind.
He did?
Didn't he? Wasn't he outside doing some pistol stuff?
It was pistols, but it was like it was all simulated injuries.
Oh yeah, like injuries, and yep, that's right. And Jonathan did everything he wanted to know about tourniquets. And what's funny is he comes up to me and goes, "Hey man, do you have a rat's tourniquet?" And I said, well, 2 problems. One, Rats doesn't really make a tourniquet. They do market it as such. And 2, I do have one to show people how bad they are, but I don't have it with me because I don't bring it anywhere. Like it sits in a fucking bucket of training medical stuff. But there was a fella out there that had a rat's tourniquet, and Jonathan wanted to use it. He wanted it to show how not great it was. And he traded a fella a brand new 7th generation cat tourniquet for it.
Upgrade.
Jonathan got what he needed, and somebody else fucking got their life saved. And then we finalized off with Sonny, and he was talking about discipline. And since I knew he was talking about me and my lack of it, I went outside and checked with the Susquehanna Valley guys, and then we did some plotting about next year's muster. So that had to take precedence. Business first. Nothing to do with me trying to avoid being shamed by my lack of discipline. There was Vaseline and duct tape. Are you sure that wasn't Tim Morris's block of instructions?
That was during Calvin's. He was smearing up everybody's glasses, duct taping their hands around balls, like bricks and stuff. He had one person tied down to basically a boat anchor.
Oh, wow!
Rolling around with like basically a giant ball and chain attached to their ankle. It was pretty cool.
I only got to pop in a couple times. I remember seeing now I do with duct tape, like his arm was folded and then the duct tape wrapped that way, and I was like, it ain't my insurance. I'm out of here.
Oh yeah, and sprayed salt
Salt
water too.
water. Nice, nice. There's after Sunny, then we did a panel with everybody on it. It lasted like a half an hour or so.
Yep, 37 minutes or so. I've been editing the video today.
Oh, nice. So, big surprise. There's going to be a video of the panel.
Mm-hmm.
And where is that going to show up at?
I believe that'll be on the Bulletin channel on here on the YouTubes.
Score.
Yeah.
I will not watch it. I was there. No. I used to say that to Jaeger. He's like, "You didn't watch my video. I heard you record it."
I was in the room. Yeah, I got a bunch of good videos this week. Did an interview with Andrew that we just dropped, I think, yesterday.
I saw that it popped up in my feed, but I haven't had a time to sit and watch it yet.
Yep, I got the panel, so that'll be dropping on the Bulletin channel, as well as I managed to record my lecture on the encrypting radio traffic. So
Very nice.
that'll be I'll put that up there as well.
So did we get video of Jonathan? Probably not because of the format that he used.
No, he didn't want to use a microphone, and he wanted to be all hands on and shit. So it's hard to set up a camera. And
Did Andrew Meisker, like, he wandered?
he did. Yeah, I didn't get any video of him because he didn't stay in front of the camera.
Yep. So do we get Dave?
No, Dave didn't want to use a microphone.
Oh, well, Dave doesn't really need one. So we got Sonny and you.
I have most of Sonny's. I missed
Okay.
the first like 30 seconds of his intro.
So I assume that you will at some point forward Sonny's information to Sonny.
Oh yeah, for sure. I
And
just
then,
haven't gotten done downloading and
yeah,
syncing all the files yet.
just giving the folks listening a clue that they might be able to
Mhm.
find Sonny's, but it'll be from Sonny, not from us.
Right.
I would never dream of posting somebody else's presentation unless they ask me to.
Hmm.
Like if they wanted to reach out to a different audience or cross post or whatever. So Sonny will have his, and that'll be up to Sonny what he does with, and you will do whatever you want to do with yours, as well as the Bulletin panel. The Bulletin was the official sponsor of the panel.
Yeah, which we totally forgot to mention. But you know,
Is the banner in the background?
it is. So at least there's a banner in it. But yeah, Bulletin was the official sponsor of the trainers panel this year at the muster.
And sponsorship, I believe, entailed it cost you what, like $80 to be
It
the
did.
sponsor?
Mm-hmm. $89.95. The cost of the banner.
It's so difficult to sponsor the muster.
Yeah, well, some of us provide services year long, for sponsorship.
Agreed. We did get a bunch of cool stuff from the other sponsors. Defiant Munitions gave away a $300 gift certificate.
Yep.
Ammo Supply Warehouse gave 2,000 rounds of 9mm away. True North Concepts gave away like 6 grip stops, 2 of their 08 foregrips, and 3 modular holster adapter kits, which was the modular holster adapter plus the leg strap.
Yeah. Plus, they gave away like a door prize too, like a door gift.
It's a small waterproof battery case that they put some stickers in.
Yeah,
they brought 100 of them, so that like come in, and when you register, Jen would hand you like an XS pen, a Midwest koozie, your wristband, your tickets for the prizes, and a little case full of stickers that you can put batteries in and keep them waterproofed. So that was pretty okay. And XS gave away a sight pusher, an armorer's block, and 2 sets of sights. What else did we have?
A bunch of signs from
Five Rivers
Fabrication.
Yeah, like 7 of those, 7 laser cut metal signs painted.
Awesome. I was super jealous. Oh, don't forget the Tiger Stripe backpack from Combat Art Training.
Yes, a prototype backpack.
Sexiest backpack ever.
Yes. The
Is that
9
the one that,
milli.
is that the one Dustin won? Did he
Yes.
win that? That son of
Yeah.
a bitch.
He did not win the can. Because Susquehanna Valley gave away a. Does anyone remember what can it was?
I remember the fantastic, awesome people that gave it away, but
Yes.
I don't remember the can.
That's a 22 can. And they paid for the stamp too.
Oh, wow.
So that was, you got the can. And I don't think the can was used. It came new, but they were willing to let people try it up at the demo. And
Yep,
then,
yep, and then they were giving it away.
and I think they had a different 22 can on a 22 up there. I don't think they ended up putting the prize one on anything. And they actually, the owner of Susquehanna Valley did not make it last year. He was on vacation. So he sent the shop manager who kept telling him how cool it was. And this year the owner made it and he did not realize how cool it was and said that they're going to do a lot more for the muster next year. And I was like, damn it, you gave away 2 cans. That's pretty.
Yeah, how much more can you okay.
Yep. No arguments from this guy.
Twist our arms.
Um,
You got, there was some stuff given away by Sonny, some coffee,
oh,
I
yes.
believe,
Sonny gave away
a DVD.
some DVDs, the shooting DVD. Oh, no, he gave away the fitness DVDs because he said, he looked around the crowd and said, these guys need fitness more than they need shooting. They can get that from you. um, Iron Forge, Jonathan Iron Forge gave away like an IFAC. He had a name for it that was different, but it was one of them acronym things, a blowout kit type deal with the tourniquet with a Cat 7, and then somebody else got a separate Cat 7. A Bulletin gave away some Enola Gay smoke grenades. Did you like the new inflection? Just made it up on the spot. First Wave Holsters gave away 3 custom shop holsters. What else was up there? There was so much shit.
It was incredible. It's just so much.
Yep. We had a box for Definitive Training Solutions. They were going to give something away, but they never showed up.
Oh, yeah.
They made it as far as like Columbus. Yes, it was a girl's name. You're right. Little Susie Q or Juliet or something was the can. Bob McCracken won excess sites. That tells me that I probably know Bob McCracken, but I don't know real people's all of their YouTube handles. So
yeah.
So the backpack that Andrew gave, the Tiger Stripe, and that the Defiant and the 2 cases of 9mm had the most fucking tickets in it. Like that was swamped.
Yeah, I could imagine.
There's Vic, the Jesse's girl. That's it. They all wish that they had Jesse's girl. Hey, aren't you supposed to be like doing something with the guard?
Where can I find a woman like that? I wish that I had Jesse's girl.
So that was good. I met a bunch of new people, including some awesome folks from Kentucky that have a range.
Taprack Ridge.
Who
just signed up today on Bulletin.
Awesome.
And they'll be listing their classes or classes that go there.
Dynamics will be going there. So that will be, I don't know when, because they are part of my list of people this week to get in touch with, which will probably be the day after tomorrow.
They are awesome people, and they are looking for trainers to come down and teach there.
Yes, and it turns out we had a room full of trainers.
Yeah.
Who knew?
Go figure. Yeah, Zach just taught down there at Taprack Ridge.
Yes, he did.
Yep.
There was a couple of dudes, and Bobo, one of the guys, I assume wife, but I never really asked.
And Rob, I believe, was
yeah, you know how I suck with names.
Yeah.
But Bobo is not a normal, like, everyday name like Jesse's girl is. And there was like 4 women total in the building, and I knew 3 of them. My daughter and my wife were half of the women no, there was 5 women, I think. Trish and Bobo were the 2 new ones I met.
Hmm. You're developing your Tim skills.
Well, it's easy to remember when you can like segment them into smaller groups and not smelly men. It was a really small group at the muster. So
Oh, I've known Tim for like 12 years. I'm pretty sure this year is the first year he remembered my name.
are you his friend on Facebook? Did he finally accept that request?
No, I don't
No.
think so. But he did remember my wife's name, like lickety split.
Shocker. Oh,
Shocker.
there were 6 women there because Jamie was there too.
Yep.
Yep. Wow, half a dozen. We're fucking blowing up in the women's segment.
Max put in a fuck ton of tickets for the backpack. Yeah, I would have too if I was allowed. I asked Gary at the beginning of the day, like, I get tickets too, right? Like I'm a sponsor and like I have a table set up. He's like, no. Oh, okay. Well, what about my wife? She get no.
That seems that would be collusion.
I'm okay with collusion.
Oh, Crystal says Christy was there too.
Oh
Christy
yeah,
was
Christy.
late.
Yeah.
But she was only there for half a day, so she only counts for half. So 6.5 or 7. But at 7, man, I'm telling you, this is gonna be a women's only event soon. And
Tim.
He was a late addition. Very happy that he could make it up here. Also, Lewis was late. See what happened after that. We all came. Oh, not all, but a bunch of dudes ended up here at my house, and
yeah, there was some imbibing, some snackages,
some libations and whatnot.
Yep, and
my
then
wife made a bunch of food, and not a lot of sleep, as it turns out. Calvin and Andrew like to talk about troglodytes and lizard people and stuff all night long, and how the moon is really just a projection from a big, like a big projector on a screen. It's not real. Or I'm making a good chunk of all this up, but I did have to ask, like, what if your troglodyte is a mongoloid? Is it a monglodyte or a trogoid? And then my soul was crushed when I found out that troglodytes are just mongoloids that live in caves. And I was like, oh, I had no idea.
I didn't realize there were distinctions between them.
Yeah, I learn new stuff every day. So then I had to look up the movie with the troglodytes, and it's called Tomahawk Bone or Bone Tomahawk or something. And but when I was looking it up, I found out there was another troglodyte movie from 1970 called Trog. And my troglodyte fans didn't know about it. So I was like, oh, look at me coming in with the all the old school information.
How many people ended up how many people were total at the muster?
Right around 80 between everybody there.
That's probably 20 more than last year.
Something like 15 at least. I don't know. I'd have to go back and look at the spreadsheets, and I'm not going to. Rumor has it that the organizers are trying to make it a multi-day event next year. But I can't really get them on the horn well to find out if that's really their intent. But it's what the rumor floating around is.
Yeah, there may have been discussions about that already. Yeah. Dustin got one thing of tickets. Can't believe how much he, like, even without getting the door prize ticket, he still made a haul.
Yep. Like, he turned down stuff because he's like, no, I've won too much.
I mean, you know, I used to root for him.
Yeah, now I'm like, nope. I don't know if that kid's allowed coming next time.
Nope.
We'll live stream it. He can watch it on his phone. What we have for vendors? Ed Brown Products was showing off some fucking super high-end 1911s.
Yeah.
Oh, and they gave away a trigger kit, a
They
1911
did. Yeah.
trigger kit.
Yep.
I forgot about that. And then beside there was Sunny. It was selling what, coffee,
Honey or is it Fort Honey Badger coffee?
Honey
Is that
Badger
the
coffee,
brand? Yep.
and
And
some
the DVDs and like
DVDs and
his stuff.
swag.
Yep.
And then let's see, around the left side, who was
Combat art training.
combat art training. I didn't even check out what Andrew was selling.
Oh, so he had a few things. Of course, nobody wanted to go to the table because like Max was there looming over,
Scaring them all away with his
lumbering and just staring at
speaking of
everybody.
troglodytes.
Max, we love you, buddy. Andrew was giving away, or not giving away. He was selling death dealer rigs. That's kind of like the it's like a bandolierish chest rig type thing with like 4 mags on each side and like some that go up, some that go down.
Yep.
Bump bags. I believe he said he sold probably 3 or 4 bump bags, which is honestly my favorite thing that he makes.
I don't have a bump bag, so my favorite is somewhere between top 3 are the flashlight bungee,
Yeah, the flashlight bungee's great.
the
You
elastic
should have brought a
bandolier,
giant bucket of those.
and the death dealer rig, because those are the 3 items I have from them. So they are the top 3 things.
Oh, you got a death dealer rig?
Yes.
That's cool.
He brought one. He told me he was bringing me a gift, and I said, you don't have to do that. But he did anyway. So then I had to have him explain. It came, like, I put it on at the red zone and like figured out where it fit. And I was like, oh, this is great. What is this bag of other stuff? So I had to have him explain it to me because there were no instructions. And it was just ways to set it up different. And
I'm such a believer in the bump bag that I truly think that basically for every rifle you have, or long gun, you should have a bump bag. Like, to me, like I don't have that many, but I have a bump bag that is like my primary carry bag. So it's basically whatever my main rifle is, I couple them. Like, I don't physically put them together, but wherever one goes, the other goes.
that
So
makes
like
sense.
like it's a medical, couple of mags, flashlight, like sustainment stuff.
Are you saying if you have 5 rifles, you should have 5 bump bags?
Well, you should have one for every weapon system platform that you have.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah.
Because
I have like an
I have
AR
way
bag,
too
a
many
shotgun
fucking
bag.
rifles here. Andrew would go broke making me bump bags
I
because
know.
I would insist on a group buy discount.
Yeah. But you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
if you're bringing an AR somewhere, that is a great way to have the medical, the mags, some extra stuff with it that goes with it at all times.
Like a road flare and an Enola
Oh
Gay.
yeah, I have a road flare in mine. Because I find excuses to put road flares in everything. Because
Indeed. Sometimes you need to light a motherfucker on fire.
Yeah. Sometimes somebody doesn't deserve their car anymore.
So then Andrew was around that side, and directly across from him was Ammo Supply Warehouse. Had a bunch of bullets and some of their swag.
Yeah, a bunch of swag. And
then beside them was the bulletin.net table.
Right. Correct.
Selling Enola Gay $900 notebooks on a serious discount.
Yep.
And some Cub Scout goodies. I had to go get a caramel chocolate bar. Right when Sonny was talking about having discipline and not eating like crap, and I'm stuffing my face with a caramel chocolate bar.
And meat sticks. Don't forget the meat sticks.
Oh yes, I did not have meat sticks, but I think Benjamin got some of those.
Yeah, yeah, those things are great, man. They send my daughter to Cub Scout camp every year.
Nice. And then beside that was the Tremis Dynamics and First Wave Holsters table, and that was our vendors for the year. Everyone asked like, well, "Hey, where's the guy that makes the knives that aren't metallic?" And I was like, "Which guy?" Because the first muster had a guy that made those.
Oh yeah.
We don't talk about him. And the second muster had a guy who made those kind of things, and he apparently is still alive and kicking, but not the easiest to get in touch with, and I've never found a way to get him to answer if he wanted to come back up.
Yeah.
So maybe next year we can get a different non-metallic pokey thing guy to come around.
Or the same guy would be great. Just
Yep. I'll still go with the second guy. Rich would be awesome.
yeah.
Rich, if you're watching this and you would like to answer the email that I sent you, emails, plural, within the last couple of months, trying to see if you wanted to come, go ahead and answer it. Just pretend it's next year. So that was with the vendors. I got a couple people that expressed interest in having a table next year. That by the time we talked this year, they didn't very small businesses that didn't have enough time to build product to put on a table. So that part might expand a little bit, just based off of interest.
Oh, look at it. Max talks to the knife. We should capitalize on the Max.
We should.
He's pretty good at hounding people and getting in touch with them.
Well, what's funny is Rich from Phil Knives, PHL. I don't know how I would pronounce it.
I would just call it Philly.
Yeah, like he posts in the alumni group, and I'm like, "Hey, man, remember me?
Don't forget the muster.
Do you want to come to the muster? I'll make room for you."
I would say it was overall a resounding success, and it's a testament, sir, to the thing that you started and put together. It's gotten better every year.
I'd say it's more of a testament to the community we have here in the Keystone State.
I agree.
I'm just a traffic director. I have a big orange cone, and I point them wherever they need to go. That's pretty much it. Maybe next year with the multi-day event, I'll have time to actually finally give a presentation on dry fire practice.
You'll have the same one loaded and ready to go for 3 years straight.
For 3 years running. The core of it's pretty much the same. Maybe some new training aids will come out that I can add to it between now and next year. And then I'll tell everyone that's what I was waiting on, was this new type of dummy round or whatever that comes out. I'm like, yep, that's why I didn't do it the previous 2 years. It had nothing to do with my inability to schedule things. Adam Hall says, what happened with the first knife guy? Well, there's an article on Vice about him.
It's true. I think it can be summed up into one word: indictment.
That's a good one. So let's see what else happened around Muster Week, because that's what I'm calling it now, Muster Week.
Oh, well, the lead up was crazy.
Yeah.
The science of dynamic violence, 3 days of. See, now it's almost been a week ago since we had the class, and I still have trouble surmising it. But it's, to me, if I had to put 3 topics on it, it's pistol movement, CQB. Like, those to me were the top 3 things in my head of if I was going to label this as what type of class was it, pistol movement, CQB.
With using force on force as a vehicle. It was not any live fire.
Right. And it was mostly, well, I mean, we did a lot of force on force, but there was a lot of dry practice, force
you don't
on
need to press
paper.
the trigger to learn a lot of things.
Right. I mean, mostly it was movement, and then a ton of stuff, a ton of new skills of hey, this is how you can practice movement without even using a gun. Here's some tennis balls.
Who knew? So that was 4 days total, because we added the crucible at the end.
And then the crucible.
And then we did the muster. And then after the muster was the red zone from the Dave Biggers experience. And they're different. Every red zone's different. I've been involved in 3 of them now. And each one has a different, the principles are the same. And there's some core parts that don't change from class to class, but there are things Dave likes to mix and match, and he does it based off of the group that's in front of him. Because I have seen this was a very advanced group of students, and I have seen some where the group was not at that same skill level.
And not as switched on.
Yeah. So that was pretty awesome. There was some, day 1 was live fire, and day 2 had some live fire and some force on force. Uh, that was fun. I got to role play a couple of those. Those were good. I got JFK'd in one of them.
Yeah,
The
by your
fucking
son.
school book depository, back of the head. Not the grassy knoll real part, but like the school book depository, story.
I got smoked in the back of the head too by Andrew.
Oh,
Point blank, pow, right in the noggin. It was a good shot.
he and I filmed some videos till about midnight last night. So
Oh.
I didn't film any of the videos because I didn't feel like editing shit.
Uh-huh.
But he did. So expect to see those. He's been texting me today. So he must have made it home all right. Unlike his trip getting here, which was a disaster.
Yeah.
If you just pay his ticket. Oh, and Sonny's conflict management, which I had no part of whatsoever. I did catch last year's.
Yes.
Max brought that up. I assumed that was good like it was last year. Maybe not as star-studded as it was last year. Because last year we had 1, 2, 3, 4 instructors participating as participants on top of Sonny teaching it.
Mm-hmm.
Me, you, Jay, and Jerry as students last year. So you don't always get a fucking gaggle of instructors as
Right.
students.
Oh, and don't forget Jonathan's class.
And Jonathan's class, on the Friday before, Intro to Tactical Medicine,
Mm-hmm.
which I hear went well. Jonathan did not keep me in the loop that he was even in town.
Yeah, the class was happening.
It happened, and then he went wherever he went for the night, and also I wasn't involved in that. And followed by him showing up to the muster not on time the following day, where it was at some point I went, has anyone heard from Jonathan? I had to go check and make sure the class happened. And I will definitely, and he was like, I figured you were busy and didn't need to hear from me, which I can totally appreciate that. He just said, well, I'm an adult. Gary's not my babysitter, and Gary's an adult. I don't we'll just do our thing and we'll link up when we need to. I'm just not accustomed to that with the instructors that I invite to the muster. Oftentimes there's a lot of hand holding and cat corralling, idle threats to do something, or I'll get angry, things like that to spur emotion on them.
Mm-hmm.
And Jonathan doesn't require any of that. It's quite abnormal.
Yeah, he needs no assistance. He's a great self-starter.
Let's see. What else? That covered most of the class stuff, I think.
That's all the events around it.
There's a lot of shit happening in a week.
It's a lot. Not to mention all of the classes and ideation that happened while all those trainers were here together.
Yes.
Which is probably a bit of a segue to something that you announced earlier today.
Yes, I guess now's a fine time for the big announcement. So there was a moment when Andrew was sleeping in. He slept till like 1 o'clock yesterday. Even Benjamin got up before he did. But
Wow.
in that time, Jay and Calvin and I were developing fire and maneuver drills in my living room. We had like snack food setting it on the floor, like the little pretzels full of peanut butter, and we were boxing a bunch of drills, and then Klaus cleaned everybody up. So we were bouncing some shit around, and then Andrew finally said to, like, later when he joined the living, said to me, he goes, hey, why aren't you and Jay doing a collaborative class on like small unit tactic type stuff out in the woods? So Jay and I had a discussion, and on Memorial Day weekend of 2025, the inaugural running of Wolverine Warfare, a joint Tremis Dynamics and Praelectus training class, will be happening here in Central PA. There will be live fire and non-live fire portions. When the class starts, you will not return to civilization until the class is over. So the location that we are going to be using will require students to live in it from the very beginning of the class. You sign the waiver, and until we cut the class free, we will spend all of that time essentially in the woods.
I like it.
It should be awesome. we threw some ideas around, and we liked where we were going with it. And we're going to invite Sunny as Op 4, because if you have a class called Wolverine Warfare, you need some fucking Russians on the other side. Saying. Let's see. I'm checking up on the comments because like a whole fucking screen of them went by. PacMed was good.
Max says a lot.
He does. He really enjoyed conflict management, even if he didn't get all the rock stars.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's sucking up for something. I'm not sure what.
TJ says he's going to teach next year at the
yes,
Buster.
Macro photography.
I would absolutely sit in on that class.
Yeah, I didn't even know TJ did macro photography.
Me neither. It surprises me not at all.
Not in the least bit.
Yeah.
Well, he is such a fine craftsman that macro photography is what it would take to take pictures of how well he creates a
Like
lot
miniatures.
of art. Yes.
Yeah.
Or even just repairing things in the carpentry field.
Mm-hmm.
That you'd need macro photography to see that maybe a repair was even made.
I love signing waivers.
So that would be cool if the Muster had its own soundtrack, TJ.
Maybe we need a live band next year, an interlude.
Ooh. I actually, remind me to talk to you. I have an idea for a live musical performance, especially if it's 2 days, and we could do the live music performance Saturday evening.
Right.
That would be something.
You could morph this whole thing into training right into party mode.
Yep. I got an idea. It's brewing in my head right now. Max says he needs some matching brown Tegris to match the outside the waistband holster he won. He won a Desert Tiger Stripe instructor holster, and it has brown Tegris for the wings. And the company that made them, I got like the very first set, and they haven't actually released them for sale. So as far as I know, they're the only brown Tegris wings in existence at this point. I have a sheet of brown Tegris here. I could cut something out of it for you if you wanted, but I don't know what you would want.
I think if we speak their names, they shall appear.
Indeed. We mentioned Sunny and Jay, and they both commented.
They come out of the woods. They're like,
Jay should be driving. I hope he's not texting and driving at the same time.
Well, maybe Calvin's driving. Or maybe they stopped.
Yeah, that's brave. So yeah, that's the big announcement. The class is online. You can sign up right now if you go to tremisdynamics.com. I don't have a link ready, so deal with it. But under hosted classes is the joint Tremdyne Praelectus Wolverine Warfare class. Now, if we listen to Calvin, that class is going to be 19 days long because he keeps adding things that we should do to it. But we'll figure all that out if there be anything beforehand. We might do like a preparatory class.
That would probably be good.
Something of that nature. Mm-hmm. And we might take like the Minuteman loadout seminar and make a digital version of it so people can catch that up if they sign up for it. Wolverine, is that a hint? Indeed it is, Sonny. I believe the tagline below Wolverine Warfare says partisan operations for an occupied homeland. We're going to get a Cuban.
In the lead up to that class, have a few skills that are just non-shooty skills. I don't know, like radios.
Maybe land nav. There's one of those coming up in like 2 weeks.
Yeah, land nav in a couple weeks. Day 3 land nav.
And I'm pretty sure that the idea is to have a radio class coming up.
October 13th, I believe.
October 13th. I knew there was a date, but I couldn't remember it off the top of my head.
Yep, we just need to figure out a date or a location. I'm going to work on that down this way.
Yes, you should. And we'll put that live as soon as you have somewhere, at least a town for us to
Yes, I will do that. I should have done that yesterday, but I will. It's been a long week.
It
Uh,
certainly has.
I'm gonna call the. I'll call the hotel to get the conference room tomorrow.
Perfect. Oh, Crystal with the link. Bam. You can always count on her.
Hell yeah! It's also on bulletin.net. You can on two trainers on bulletin.net listed under both Praelectus and Tremis Dynamics.
Like it should be. Sonny says we're behind the times because it was our elected officials have occupied it. Which, if I look at the bank accounts of our elected officials, that essentially means we're occupied by Ukraine, because that's where all the kickbacks are coming from. What was it today? Mitch McConnell and somebody else, millions of dollars of kickbacks from Ukraine were uncovered. Just saying.
Send him to jail. Give him the Menendez treatment.
I was thinking the gallows, but
That's fine too. I mean,
well, some people think the gallows have a certain racial connotation, so I'm okay with the fucking guillotine.
Yeah, make public execution French again.
I like it. It's a democracy. Democracy. You added the N. I don't know how to pronounce it.
A demon crazy. I don't
Sounds like a character from a movie. So yeah, that was all the muster recap. I think it went pretty well. I was happy. Dude, I was so stoked to just have all these people around.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I in one day, I had shared company with Tim Morris, Dave Biggers, Jay Gibson, Calvin Lim, Sonny Pazikas, my good buddy Mike, who's on the other end of this, a bunch of my friends. In the previous, 48 hours, Andrew was there, and then, just a day earlier, Jonathan was up here. I had so many awesome, intelligent people surrounding me that I was like, I don't know if I could even, say the muster was for everybody else or if it was my own selfish need to surround myself with awesome people.
It's both.
I'm okay with that.
There's nothing wrong with it being both.
And the typical good group of dudes that we train with all the time were around. A bunch of them came over to the house, and it was pretty awesome.
Yep. Yeah, it's something special. This group of people that we've found.
Yep, it really was. It was pretty amazing. And like the tagline I used on all the social media was I called the muster Pennsylvania's premier training event, and we could probably stretch that into a larger geographical area than Pennsylvania. The premier training event in the regional Northeast or whatever. But like
definitely tri-state area.
Just such an amazing group of dudes show up. Like no, I mean, if there were shitbirds in the crowd, I didn't know, but like the main stars of this production are just awesome people. Oh, speaking of shitbirds, some dude who is not a patron found the secret link so that he could sign up for the muster for free. The patron link, and he signed up like the day before the muster, and then didn't check in. So because that on the roster it had this name, the very last name. I can't remember off the top of my head, but since my wife was checking everyone in, like beside his name, it had big giant letters that said "Send to Gary!" ! And I was gonna just say, hey man, you can come in anyway because you somehow found the secret link. But how did you find it? Because if I fucked up and inadvertently left a trail to it for people who weren't patrons, that way I can shut it off for next year. But he never showed up. So he was bold to get in with the patron discount, not being one, and then he chickened out. So now I have even less respect for him. Josh DeWalt, hello, sir. Joe Pistilli. Always going to be around. Yep. Mm-hmm. Crystal, yes, the puppet mastering was happening. I actually made that motion a couple times during the weekend.
You know,
Yep.
the puppet master motion is very close to the Andrew motion.
Oh yes, yes. Yeah.
Oh, I'm gonna
I
be a
use
puppet
power.
master.
So one of the videos we made, he goes, "Hey man, do you want to light the internet on fire with me?" Okay, I've done that before, and we talked about looking at your holster when you put your gun away, and it was the most not putting the internet on fire that I've ever seen Andrew.
Actually, you know when's a fun time to talk to Andrew? When he's waiting in an airport. That was the only time I've had a conversation with him where he was not like overly animated in some way.
I do
Like
not need to draw attention from the TSA agents to my
yeah,
presence.
he picks up the phone. He's like, "Hello, yeah, hey, yeah, yeah, everything's good." Like this is not. Who are you, and what did you do with Andrew?
Why aren't you walking around going, "I'm the TSA"? So yep. That's I think that pretty much sums everything, all the big parts up that we wanted to
Yeah.
talk about tonight.
What else do you have to say other than there's gonna be? I mean, we're coming back. It'll be
Yeah,
back, right?
yeah, that's the plan. I have
Mhm.
to go later this month to try and secure the same venue for next year. Uh, I will do that at the annual or the monthly meeting. I don't think it should be a problem. Um, we'll get the ball rolling for next year, and maybe, just maybe, I can get more than 3 instructors to have an idea for what they want to talk about, so that I can better give people an idea of what the blocks of
Give
instruction
you
will be about, what gear to bring. Uh, but how do you
just
tell people that I need to know a month ahead of time? And they're like, I don't know, Mr. Gary. Like, how do you tell? Well, you can't come unless you tell me. And well, fuck, you can come if you show up halfway through the muster and be like, Mr. Gary, I'm ready to teach. Like, I'm not gonna give them the old Tim, I ain't got time, baby.
well, maybe you can at least boil them down to a topic.
Like,
Like
even if it's a broad topic.
yeah, like pistols.
Yeah, that's kind of what Lewis did. He had a couple of ideas, and I was like, all right, sounds great. Because I'm pretty laissez-faire about stuff. Like, that's what you want to do. Sounds awesome to me. And then he asked me later, wait, am I locked into that? And I said, well, you're kind of locked into the outdoor range, because I kind of picked what people were doing based off of whether they like slots for inside or outside. He goes, yeah, that's fine, but I don't know if I want to do that thing with the pistol. I was like, is it still going to be pistol? Yep. Great. Don't care what you do. So that I could tell people, yeah, you bring 200 rounds of pistol ammo, you'll be fine.
Yeah.
I just didn't then want them to say, hey, we're doing shotgun retention, long distance.
Sniper shotgun.
So that was last year.
Right.
RJ, on behalf of everyone, thank you. Don't get weird. So yeah, I think we covered everything. What do you think?
Yeah, man. I mean, we got it all. We got all the stuff around it. It's turned into Christmas time. Early August has now become the best time of the year here in Pennsylvania.
Yep, sure does seem that way.
Every year. So I'm so excited to see where it goes. Like it's quickly growing.
I would like to
So,
keep it moving the direction it's moving.
mhm.
And maybe even be so organized that as I get old and crippled, I can pass it on to some younger folks who could carry it on beyond my years. We also need to get some younger instructors, because I was like in the middle of the age category, and I'm 50.
Yeah.
So I was like, man, we got a lot of fucking old farts up here. What happens in 10 years when we're all dead?
Yeah, I think half of them were collecting Social Security.
So we need to get some more folks. And I actually had a couple ideas for people, but I just ran out of hours, which is why a 2-day event sounds like it would work better than a 1-day event.
Yep. multiple locations, different types of environments. It's going to be a thing.
Yeah, I think that's the plan. Also, volunteers are welcome.
Yes, I think we could probably get more formal with that over the next year.
That would be fine.
Recruiting some people to help.
Yes, I got to admit, like everybody stepped up like the morning of, like as people showed up, like what can I do to help? And when we were done, like we cleaned the place, like probably better than it gets cleaned when someone cleans the place.
Oh yeah, it was
But but
15 minutes. Everything was gone.
but the few days leading up to it, like the weeks leading up, man, somebody else helping would have been nice. And I don't mean somebody other than me. I mean somebody other than the small number of people that were helping. Mike was instrumental in doing some of the logistical work. My wife was instrumental in it, and me. That's about it. So, if anybody else wants to help, reach out and I can put you on a task. Steven probably did some work beforehand
Oh
as
yeah,
well
he
because he
was
organized all
yep.
the sound. Like we just assumed, like he had a suitcase with all that shit in it. I'm sure he didn't, and he had to procure the equipment to do the sound. And then the day of, he knocked that part out of the park. But like I don't know what all he went through in the meantime to get us a PA, with a mixer and all that. I don't know. So like people should be thanking him as well.
Yeah, and that I think that just elevated the level because like you cannot talk to a room that big for an
Unless you're
hour.
biggers.
Yeah, like yeah, he's a force of nature. He couldn't even make it an hour. So
Yeah. He petered out. Well, he's 105, so
yeah,
he went as long as he could.
I'm sure he was louder when the Civil War was
Yes, that's
like,
why he's deaf. There was a cannon shot went off beside him. Aiden Donovan wants to know when he can expect another radio class. And what was the date again?
I believe it's October 13th.
October 13th, in the greater Emmaus area.
Right, Allentown. Somewhere
Uh,
around there.
we'll have some more deets shortly because Mike will square that location down
This week.
this week.
Yeah. Yeah,
And we'll get it posted up so people can sign up for it and stuff. So
right,
Steven said he
Yep.
Borrowed most everything from his boss or the guy he works for. I don't want to say boss because that sounds a little mean. Like I boss that motherfucker around. But make sure you let your employer know that we greatly appreciate his help, and if he wants, we can list him as an official sponsor with some links and stuff. If he has, Billy Joe Bob's Sound Emporium or whatever, like I'll put that up there because he certainly did us a great service and kept me from having to go rent things. So that would be great. I mean, I would feel great. He was great, and I would feel good about helping him out and give with some publicity if I could. All right. So, what? Anything else you got, Mike? Before we punch out of here?
Nah, man, I'm smoked. It's been a hell of a week. I'm exhausted, man.
Agreed. So, everybody else, well, I guess we'll see you next Wednesday. And for those of you who I saw sometime during the last week, thank you so much. You guys made the event. I just directed you on how to get there. And with that, later.